Oh my god. I wanted to come on here and just really quickly talk about this video right here as it triggered the shit out of me. Take a look. This is absolutely a real thing that models go through, in particular, models that I feel ethnically come from a line of genetics that causes us to have fuller figures, larger butts, wider hips, thicker thighs, fuller breasts, all of that. So, this is something that I absolutely used to experience all the time as a model. And why is because you have to be sample size. This right here is sample size. All this right here. I remember one photo shoot in particular. It was a show I was walking, and it had a photo shoot and then it had a show. So it was like a combination. And I remember when I was sitting there in a chair, in a makeup chair, I was getting ready, and I had a gentleman stop me and tell me like, "Oh, like, are you okay? Like, you seem lightheaded. You haven't eaten in a long, like, something you haven't eaten in a long time." But yeah, because I haven't. I was at the time exercising extremely poor eating choices so that I could maintain my weight. At that time, I was probably a double zero, maybe slightly a triple zero. And I was doing everything I could to, not have no weight. And it was such a weird time in my life because as a black woman, you also feel the pressure to be curvaceous, to have curves, to have certain assets in terms of like, a large butt, wide hips, you know. And this was in the early 2000s. So this was like peak video vixen, aesthetic where, it wasn't so much BBLs, even though some of them probably did have them, but it was just more about having that big Atlanta booty, like that big video vixen booty. So, in one set of my life, I'm being pressured to be skinny. I'm being pressured to be small as I possibly can. And then another aspect of my life, I feel like I'm being pressured to, have a tiny waist and a big butt. Because at that time, I wasn't just doing professional commercial print modeling. I was also doing bottle service. I was also doing go-go dancing, and I was bartending too. So, and I was also a promotional model as well. So I would be in the nightlife at some point, and then other points I would also be on set doing like professional commercial print work. So it was a really weird time in my life where I was having such bad body dysmorphia and I could not figure out how I wanted to look. I could not figure out what was a comfortable, healthy weight for me. And like I said, because a lot of the stuff that you hear when you're on set is, too big or like stuff like that. And when that makeup artist came to me and asked me, she was like, "Yeah, are you okay? Like, I know you haven't eaten," because she knew I wasn't eating. It was literally previously weeks before that I had someone working on set, probably like somebody in wardrobe, who had made a comment about me being too big, about me, oh my gosh, I don't know how she's gonna fit her butt in this. Mind you, I was almost a triple zero. I was tiny. I was thin. But yeah, this is absolutely a real thing. And while being a model was probably one of the most affirming moments in my life where I really like, despite what I had heard about me being dark skinned and, really inappropriate comments I've gotten from my stepmom, to be, a professional commercial print model hired by Ford Models at that time, it was an honor. I will never, disparage the opportunity, but it was also probably one of the most destructive to my physical and mental body and self esteem because I had so much dysmorphia. I had borderline disorders like every few months. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk about that.